Confessions 23. It is man's power to judge all things that is symbolized by his rule over the fishes in the sea, and all that flies through the air, and the cattle, and the whole earth, and all the creeping things that move on earth. He rules them by his intelligence, which enables him to take in the thoughts of God's Spirit. If this were not so, man, despite the place of honor that is his, would have no understanding. He would be matched with the brute beasts and no better than they. You are our God, and we are your design, pledged to good actions. So it is that your church, by reason of the grace which you have given it, has the power of spiritual judgment, which is given both to those who have spiritual charge of others and to those who are in their spiritual care. For you created man male and female, but in your spiritual grace they are as one. Your grace no more discriminates between them according to their sex than it draws distinction between Jew and Greek, or slave and freeman. Those who have the gifts of your Spirit then have the power of spiritual judgment, whether they are in authority over others or are subject to authority. They do not pass judgment upon spiritual truths, which are like lights shining in the firmament, for it is not right for a man to call such sublime authority in question, or upon your book, even if there are passages in it which may not be clear. For we submit our intelligence to it, and do not doubt that even those parts of it which are hidden from our ken are right and true. Even though he has spiritual gifts and has been refitted for closer knowledge, so that the image of God who created him is his pattern, a man must obey the law, not pass judgment on it. Nor does such a man judge between those who are spiritual and those who are worldly minded. You are the God of all, and they are known in your sight. But to us they have not yet been revealed by the things that they do, and we cannot know them by their fruit. Nevertheless, you know them, O Lord. You separated them and called them in secret before the firmament was made. Furthermore, no man, even though he has the gifts of the Spirit, can pass judgment on the peoples of this world, who still struggle on without your grace. How can he claim jurisdiction over those who are without, when he does not know which of them will come into the sweet domain of your grace, and which remain forever in the bitter exile where you are not loved? Man, therefore, whom you created in your image, has not received power over the lights of heaven, nor over heaven itself, which is hidden from him, nor over day and night, which you made before heaven was created, nor over the waters which were gathered together, that is, the sea. He has been given rule over the fishes in the sea, and all that flies through the air, and the cattle, and the whole earth, and all the creeping things that move on earth. He judges them, approving what he finds to be right, and blaming what he finds to be wrong. He exercises his power through the ceremonies of the sacraments, by which those whom your mercy has sought out from the many waters of the sea are admitted to your grace. Through the sacrament of the Eucharist, when the fish which was raised from the depths is held out to us and is received as food by the faithful earth. And by means of signs and the words that he speaks, which are subject to the authority of your book like birds on the wing beneath the firmament. He can explain and illustrate your teaching. He can argue and discuss. He can praise you and invoke your aid. And the words that break from his lips bear a meaning to which the people may respond and cry, Amen. If the words he utters have to be spoken aloud so that the ear can hear, this is because the world is a deep sea and the flesh is blind. Men cannot see thoughts, and therefore the truth must be dinned in their ears. It is in this sense that although there is abundance of flying things on earth, they have their origin in the sea. The man who has spiritual gifts also judges the faithful, approving what he finds to be right and blaming what he finds to be wrong in their deeds and their morals. He judges them by their almsgiving, which is like the earth bearing fruit, and by their passions, which in the living soul are tamed into submission by the practice of chastity, by fasting, and by the soul's regard for its duty to God when it reflects upon the sensations of which it is conscious through the body. For he judges only those things which he also has power to correct.